I'm so glad you joined us on Zoom. We love having the option, the YouTube option, but we always wish that more people joined us on Zoom.
Hi,
I didn't know about the
Rashi.
YouTube option, but now it's better this way.
Yeah.
Hey, Sylvia.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Gino. Hi,
So many people joining the class today.
Rashi.
Hi, everyone.
Oh my gosh,
Hi,
your baby is so big. Wait,
Yeah.
how old?
I'm really big.
Not you. Adi.
What did you say?
All right. Okay. Let's get started.
Sounds good. Are we live?
Yeah,
Yes.
I saw the notification.
Oh,
okay.
Yes,
okay.
we're live.
My phone is just behind, I guess. All right, well, I can do the introduction then. So welcome to Bharatanatyam and Ballet Class 24. For those of you who are joining us on YouTube, we do half an hour Bharatanatyam, half an hour ballet each week, and this is a technique-driven class. If you have any questions on any of the things that we're doing, it is drop-in, but feel free to go back and watch some of our previous videos. And also, if you have any questions too, just feel free to comment and we will check on that. So without further ado, I'm Anita and I'm one of the Bharatanatyam instructors and I go by she, her.
I'm Anjali. I'm also one of the Bharatanatyam instructors. I go by she, her.
I'm Kristen. I'm one of the ballet instructors and I use she, her.
I'm Jackie. I'm the other ballet instructor, and I use the pronoun she, her.
Good. So we'll get started with Bharatanatyam today. We have some people on Zoom, which is great. So we usually get started with Namaskaram, which we do at the beginning and the end of the Bharatanatyam section. I guess we will go through it slowly and follow along. I will be saying the Sholukata that goes along with it. If you have any questions, feel free to stop me as we're going along. And the end of the class, you'll have another chance to do this again. But Rashi, just definitely follow along with and kind of watch us on screen. And if anyone else on screen has questions as well. Okay. Here you go. So find a good spot in the middle of your space. We'll be starting with two hands at our chest in Katakarmukha. So what that is again, just a quick recap today. You'll have your pointer finger, middle finger, yep, with your thumb there, and your ring finger and your pinky up at chest level. Kind of roll the shoulders back during all of this. And we're going to start by our right leg and our left leg. So I'll just say it very slowly and kind of follow along. So dalangu takadimi takatadigi takadimi takajanu. We're going to switch our hands to this. And we're going to go down. Takadimi takajanu. Now we're down here. We're going to touch the ground. And for now, just touch. Takadimi takajanu. And you're going to touch your eyes. Then you're going to come all the way around with your right hand and follow. Takadimi takajanu. Takadimi takajanu. Takadimi takajanu. Takadimi takajanu. Now slowly come up. Takadimi takajanu. Dam. Just as a little reminder of some terms that we've gone through from the beginning, when you're in the standing position in any way, this is called samam. This is Aramandi, which we'll be using a lot today. And this is actually Muramandi, which is all the way down when we're in that position. So for YouTube as well, just a little reminder of some of our basic terms. So we're going to get started today and we're just going to walk. We do nade at the beginning of class. All it is we're just going to keep our hands behind our back. You don't want your hands sticking out. You want to keep them here. You want to keep your posture, just shoulders rounded down, nice straight back. We do this exercise by kind of going in a zigzag, but if you want to walk straight and back, you can as well. Just a reminder, you want to do heel to toe. So nicely pick that foot up, go heel to toe, and so on and so forth. And I'll be saying taka dimi taka janu as our beat cycle. similar to the exercise namaskaram that we did previously. Okay, we'll go pretty slow at first too. Talango takadimi takadadingenaton takadimi takajanu takadimi takajanu takadimi takajanu takadimi takajanu. Again, takadimi takajanu takadimi takajanu takadimi takajanu takadimi tak. Great. And again, for everybody on the call, really, this step is just used to travel. So you can really go wherever you want, customize it, and kind of get used to moving in different directions as we continue practicing this. So we'll do it a little bit faster. We'll start again. Dalang takadimi takadadingenaton takadimi takajanu takadimi takajanu takadimi takajanu takadimi takajanu. Takadimi takajanu, takadimi takajanu, takadimi takajanu, takadimi. Perfect. All right. So we will go ahead and get started. Anita, do you have anything else to add for our little just walking exercise warm up?
No, I just wanted to point out, for those on the call, I noticed when you were walking back, you were moving your kind of your upper body, as Anjali had said to do. And so good job. That's all I wanted to say. So.
Okay. And then I guess, Anita, do we want to get started with Bakaravu then?
Yep, we can do that.
Okay, so in previous weeks, I think we have been doing a couple different types of Adavus. So last week we just started Pakaravu, which is also called Vishara Adavu. And in this exercise, we did just the feet, but we'll be going through it again. So give me 1 second here. Okay. We'll keep going, and I will try to speak just a little bit louder. Okay, so in this Adavu, basically, we're going to be doing the hands and the feet together. We'll just be saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rashi, you can just tell us how, you know, since you're on the Zoom call right now, if you want to just let us know how you're feeling as we progress, or if what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with, we can always alter and already advance to something a little bit more complicated versus taking it from the beginning. So just let me know. And we will get started. So Pakaravu is one of our first traveling steps. So what we commonly showed in previous weeks is actually that we sit in Adamandi. And all we're doing is we're really traveling side to side. This is just the first of this Adavu. Okay, so last week what we went through, and if everyone can still hear me, we didn't do hands. We just went from side to side. So your first move is just going to be right stamp, right again. You're going to take your left toe. It's going to come behind the right foot, and your right is going to stamp. Okay? Now you're in this position, and we need to go back to the left side. So to do that, you're going to go to the left again. Your right toe is going to come behind your left foot, and you're going to stamp on your left foot. So you're kind of getting this back and forth momentum, and probably compared to Tattaravu and Nakaravu, which were our first two Adavus, this is the first introduction to movement that you're getting. So again, before we kind of do what the actual set is, we're just going to get used to that in a 1, 2, 3, 4 type of a way. All you're going to be doing is right, right, left toe, right, left, left, right toe, left. Some things to really notice is, again, as much as you can, I'm also trying myself, really try to sit, have your knees out, really bring that good posture. And also you want to make sure that you're not kind of dragging your feet along. You want to make sure that you're still stamping and picking up your leg, especially when that toe comes behind. You really want it to give it a nice kick and place it down. Anita, do you have anything to add? I can kind of see you.
No, I think that you covered it, Anjali.
Okay. one other thing as well, I might not be in the spotlight right now, which is okay. Everybody's doing a great job, so everybody will be a good example for today to see everybody dancing together. So on the right side compromises of 4 repetitions. So what you're going to do is you're going to go right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left. Now again, you're going to go to your right side, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left. So this concludes your, let's say, your right half. So now we got to get to the left side. We're in this kind of awkward position where our right toe is behind our left leg, and we need to go that way. So what we're going to do is, if you're familiar with this, and if you're not, either way, we'll go through it very slowly. You're going to roll that right heel down, and you're going to step to your left side. And that's going to initiate that left movement. So again, you're here. That right toe is behind the left leg. You're going to roll that heel down and step to the left. From there, we're going to do the exact same thing, excuse me, that we did on the right side, which is going to be left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right. Again, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right. Just like we did back and forth for the right side, to complete the left set, we have to do the same. It's a little bit longer, one full sequence, but that's going to be your full repetition. Why don't we practice that a few times? And to catch my breath, Anita, why don't you count us down and count for us?
Yeah, I can do that. I think Anjali isn't pinned, so if I speak, it's gonna highlight on me though.
That's a very good point. We will fix that in a second. And in the meantime, we kind of just jumped into this. So again, just a couple quick reminders, really sit down as much as you can. A lot of these exercises are accentuated by that kind of good form and good posture. Even a lot of these movements, it's really, I think classical dance, again, as we've emphasized for both ballet and Bharatanatyam and a lot of other classical styles, a lot of it is kind of where your weight is and how your body shifts. If your posture is kind of not in the optimal form, you're going to feel it hurt in places that you don't want to feel it. So really by turning those knees out and sitting nicely, you're really getting the work to come here, and you should really feel the pressure here versus doing this and feeling the pressure in the knees. So kind of number one thing for any of these adabus is we don't want to feel pressure in places like our bones and joints. That can be really dangerous, and it can actually hurt us. So, all right. So you can get started again, and Anita, then you can count for us. We'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and when you feel comfortable, you can naturally maybe progress us to the Sholukuta.
Okay, sounds good. So 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll try da. Oh, the left side. I'm so sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I noticed the yellow box is still around me, so I just want to make sure I'm pinned, but I just wanted to bring that up. Yeah, sorry for that mistake in the middle. So the way that you should go right and then left and then go left and right, correct, Anjali?
Yeah.
That, yeah.
So I will introduce, we have about 10 minutes left. So again, today's more of a learning day versus a repetition day. Also remember in previous weeks, we've gone through Tattu Matadavu, which is also a little bit more of your Natya, your dance portion of it. So I want to introduce the arms still today. Again, this is the first sequence in the Vishada Adavu. While we're sitting, the arms will make a little bit more sense to the repetition. So there's two ways to do this. Anita, if you have a preference for Pataka or Alapatva.
We can do Pataka.
Okay, so
Yeah.
with your hand in Pataka, again, we'll do hand gestures today before we end, but Pataka is just really kind of like a stop sign. You want your thumb nicely tucked in there. You're gonna have both of them at chest level. You wanna try not to break the wrist. This is what breaking the wrist is called. Breaking the wrist is when you take it from that flat plane and you bring it either up or down. You wanna keep it as straight as possible. Again, what is natural for the make of your body. You wanna keep that again nicely at chest level, not too close, not too far. That same middle ground we've been talking about. And our first step is going to be, we'll actually just do, I'm gonna sit here so you can see kind of half of my body here. We're just gonna do the hands. When you're stepping to the right side, each step is kind of a movement with your hand. So one, your hand is gonna come in front of you. That's your right hand. Your right hand and you're going in the right direction. So right, you're gonna come all the way to the side. And we want you to start by following your hand. You'll get used to it. If you look forward, it's gonna be really unnatural and it will hurt your arm. So you're gonna follow your hand. You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, you're actually gonna come backwards. So backwards, if this was the front, backwards to me would be about here. I want you to take your torso and I want you to turn. When you're sitting again, the sitting is gonna be exactly the same. We don't want you to pivot or anything, but it's a little bit more of a movement with the torso. So 1, with your right hand, 2 is out to the right, 3 is kind of to the back, but right hand. 4, you are going to bring your hand in Katikamukaha. Katikamukaha again is that same thing we did in Namaskaram, pointer finger, middle finger, claps to the thumb, and your ring finger and pinky are up. This one is still in Pataka. Think of it as like the inactive hand. We haven't used it yet, okay? So again, we'll start from the beginning. You're gonna go front with your right hand to the front, to the side, to the back, and then you're gonna bring it back in that Katikamukaha position. This we haven't used yet because we just did the right. So now we're gonna go to the left. We're gonna come out front on the left side, to the side on the left side, to the back on the left side, and we're also gonna bring this hand. So think of it as like, this hand changes when you are done with the motion, okay? So again, let's back up to both of those, starting from here, right front, right side, right back, bring it back in Katikamukaha, left front, left side, left back, bring it back in Katikamukaha. Now from here, and again, this should be the exact same posture as Namaskaram. We're actually going to take your left hand, even though we're moving to the right, it's a little bit different, and your hand is going to change to Tripataka. We haven't done this yet today, but Tripataka again was when you had your ring finger down on both sides. So you're going to change to Tripataka. So we're right here on your left hand, and you're going to just come forward. In a very gradual movement, you're going to take all 4 counts to come forward, and you're moving to the right side. And now, when you're going back to the left side, this is probably the most confusing part of the step, is you're going to change this hand. Let's think of it again as activating this hand to change now from Katikamukaha to Tripataka, and you're going to exchange. So it's almost this give and take type movement. It's one of the most classic steps, I would say, classic Adavus. So again, first half seemed pretty simple. But you're back here, and remember, if you remember, we went right, left, and that concluded the right side. So to finish out the right side, again, you're going to change your left hand to Tripataka, and you're going to gradually move it forward with 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you're going to take that Kataka Mukha and activate the right hand, switch, and 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we're going to first try that with feet before we get to the left side. I think it makes a lot more sense. So we're going to split it up this way. Anita, do you agree with me? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I wonder if we just want to do the hands and beats, like just the hands alone without adding.
Definitely. Let's do that one more time. You said just hands, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll start here. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you're doing this at home, one thing that you want to remember is gradually over time, it will be more of a gradual movement. Think of it as you're making these semicircles, but you also do want to try to, it is more helpful to learn it as 1, 2, 3, 4, so you really hit those points. But you do want to still be going naturally in a more of this plane versus placing it at each location. So just remember that this is kind of the plane that you're traveling on. So you do want to be a little smooth with your movements. But again, I'm trying to go pretty slowly so you kind of hit each beat. All right, let's do that one more time with any questions so far. I can kind of see all of you, everybody on screen. So if there are no questions, then Anita, do you want to say Tate Teta for us? We'll try it with the Sholkata, maybe just hands.
Yeah, Anjali, would you be able to say the Solkata this time?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so we'll start one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. Da, te, da, de, te, da, da, te, da, de, da. So you guys are all doing a great job. I can see everybody on the screen. And way to go. I think everybody is being really smooth with their movements, which is really, really good. Another quick thing to remember too is, I didn't really reiterate on this on the beginning, but you still want to keep your elbows up. We don't want our elbows kind of down here. Also, when our hand travels, our elbow doesn't really drop at a certain point, just bring it here. And there's no, I'm kind of generalizing on everything versus anything that I've seen necessarily, but even for those watching on YouTube, we don't want to swoop our hands. We don't want to bring our hands all the way up. Those are in other adavus. This is the most simple form of just here, and you bring it back. Same thing with this. When you're bringing this forward, you want to keep your elbows up. So your elbows are almost doing this movement. It's staying up as I extend the arm versus dropping and dropping down. So these two, this and this, are kind of two different movements. Again, very specific, but if you start incorporating these things earlier on, your body will kind of be accustomed to it. All right. Let us challenge ourselves. And before we end with hand gestures, I want to challenge everybody to just add the hands and feet together very, very slowly with 1, 2, 3, 4. It's okay if we don't get it today, 100% okay. I just want you guys to have the visual leaving today of what those two combined looks like. Just the right side, not the left side. We will do that next week. Anything else that I'm missing?
I have a quick question.
Yes,
when your hands are in Tripitaka and you're bringing them out, are they like facing, like the one that you're not using? Is it facing up or is it like?
Good question. There's a couple different ways that people have learned this. I think for the purpose right now, you can just keep them facing forward.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions? Otherwise, let's try it once and we can end with hand gestures for the day. All right, so we're gonna go very, very slowly. If it doesn't come naturally, 100% okay. We will go through it again in more detail next week and combine the left side. Remember, this is just the right side we're doing. It's like a full set for the right side. So we're gonna sit down. We won't do the Sholkata today. We'll just do this. Your hands again are in Pataka here. We'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4. not ta, te, te, ta. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. So 3 again, we'll kind of break this down a little bit. So you're gonna go 1 to the front, 1 to the right. That 3, your torso moves. So this is kind of what we're talking about, that to the best of your ability, you want to keep your posture here and you want to twist and look. It'll be a little natural where yes, it's not going to be perfect, but for the most part, you want to at least try to sit and keep your knees out and more so turn from here. All right, so 3, that left foot comes behind. 4 is when the right foot taps. Again, now on the left side, 1, 2, 3, that right toe comes back, that left hand comes back. 4, both hands should be in Katika Mukha. Now in this position where we have to go back to the right side. So this is where it gets a little bit more tricky. With your left hand, again, opposite hand, opposite leg now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, back to the left side. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, that was kind of the challenge for the day. It's a lot of opposite sides. We're gonna do it one more time, no hands, just go back to the feet. The real trick for Adavus like this is that when we start adding hands, you almost want to have it where your feet and your hands can act independently. It's almost as if like you shouldn't be thinking about what your feet are doing. So I think let's just do the legs one more time for today, and then next week again, we'll add in the hands. So again, hands behind your back, let's just sit. Let's just do the right, left, one more time, okay? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's keep going to the left side. Da, te, da, de, te, da, te, da, de, te, da. Perfect. So just want to add a little challenge in the end there. It's okay if you didn't get the hands and legs. Today is just the first day we incorporated the 2. We're already at 7:32. So Kristen and Jackie we can either start ballet, or if we have a couple minutes, we can do hand gestures. Up to you guys.
Either way.
I'm okay either way, yeah.
Okay, Anita, why don't you run us through hand gestures quickly? It'll be 30 seconds, and the last 30 seconds we'll do namaskaram, and we'll hand it over.
Perfect. So I'm gonna pick off a double-handed gesture since we were kind of doing that last time. So.
And everybody can come and take a seat in the front.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So Anjalishcha, Kapodascha, Karkata, Swastikastadha, Dolahasta, Pushpaputaha, Utsanga, Shivalingakaha, Katakavardhanaschaiva, Kartari Swastikastadha, Shakatam, Shankar, Chakresha, Samputa, Pasha, Kilako, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Garudo. Just check. Yep, Nagabandakaha, Katava, Berundaka Kescha, Avahitastate Vachaha. Yay! Double-handed gestures, everybody. And it's nice too in Zoom, then I can like see everybody and see how you guys are doing it. So
And
great,
now
we'll wrap up with Namaskaram then.
And now we're starting to see some of those in our Ardavus and our warm-ups. So we'll end with Namaskaram, like we started with. So this time I'll actually just run through it without stopping, but I'll start us off with, again, Kataka Mukha. Now that you can see, we've done a couple different exercises where we see this being a common posture. So if you like it, great. If you don't like it, learn to love it. It'll pop up quite a bit, okay? Dalangu takadimi takadimi natum takadimi takajanu 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 tam. All right, we went a couple minutes over, so thank you, Kristen and Jackie, for being patient as well. And we will switch over to ballet. If there are any other questions, feel free to ask us, and we'll ask again at the end of the class if a question pops up in the next 25 minutes. All right, let's get started. In terms of pinning the correct video, I am not sure what view we are currently on.
Yeah, if you're on the call, we can pin Jackie. And then it seems like on YouTube, I've just been checking, it seems like the views are still changing.
Okay. Maybe
So
if Jackie
just anytime
starts talking.
Kristen.
Yeah, and maybe if Jackie starts talking, she'll be the speaker. So
Yep,
maybe
exactly.
plan
So is
accordingly.
it whoever is talking has the video on them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
we can maybe do it based off of that information.
Good. Sounds good. Well, for ballet today, we were thinking of going through just like the start of a ballet bar with plies and tendus kind of quickly. So then we could get into port de bras, which we haven't done much of lately. And we kind of like just started the third Vaganova port de bras last week. And so we can go over that again. We highly recommend for ballet that you put on some kind of socks, or if you happen to have ballet slippers, none of us do. So we use socks. And you can see that Jackie has like a tall chair, which is great to use as like a bar replacement. If you don't have that, you can just put your like bar arm on your hip. Oh, and for Rashi and Divya, something that's really great about Zoom that I like to do, I attach the like a laptop to my TV, so I have a pretty big screen for viewing. If your screen is big enough, I like to put it on gallery view, and then I can see myself while I'm doing the dancing, and it feels a little more community then as well to have like everyone in the shot. So I like doing that if you're joining us on Zoom. All right. Should we head on to do plies? Anything else, Jackie?
No, I think we can get started. Is it on me now, the video?
Yeah.
Did it switch? Okay.
When you talk, I'll mute mine. When you talk, it switches to you.
Okay. Okay, so we will just do the plie exercise we've been doing for the past several weeks. So what it is it's going to be demi-plie, grand plie, and then we'll do that in second. We'll do that in fourth position. We'll do that in fifth position. Rashi, feel free to like ask any questions you have. Last week we worked on épaulement, which is like the movement of the shoulders. And so if you've been with us for the last several weeks and this plie series is really familiar, I encourage you to not only, or to like sort of focus on that more. So again, the arm is kind of doing this and your shoulders can kind of follow a little bit. It's a really minimal movement, but just allowing your head and your shoulder to follow your arm. So if you've been doing or taking our class, I suggest practicing that and playing with that this week. So we will get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, allongé, 5, 6, 7, 8, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, demi, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu second, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, demi, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu fourth, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu fifth, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu first, allongé, and close. Any questions, comments before we move to the other side?
I have a couple reminders for arm placement. I got a little winded. I think I was forgetting to breathe. Okay. So except during the allongé, the arm stays in sort of this like, I don't want to use the word static, but your elbow, wrist, and hand kind of stay almost frozen the entire time you're doing that exercise. And it's frozen in this sort of like rounded shape. So we've practiced it in the past by taking our arms like in preparatory, which is where we have them just down, like right in front of our waist. And then we kind of look at that like natural curve of our arms. And we want that curve to stay the same as we come up into first, out into second, and then back down into preparatory. So the only thing that is moving is the shoulders in all of this. We want to keep that really kind of stable curve of the elbow with the elbow lifted, even in second, even when it's so hard to keep it lifted. Should kind of feel like a little burn in your triceps back here just to hold it in second. And then when we go to add in the allongé, it's called allongé, which means to elongate. So all we are doing is elongating the arm. And I think as we get a little more stylized, the allongé kind of can get a little bigger. But I know my instructor really, especially when we were beginners, which let's be honest, I was always a beginner. I only did ballet 1 and 2. The allongé was very controlled. And that's because it can get sloppy if we practice it too big. So we want to practice it really controlled. So when we take that allongé, all we were doing is pretending that someone is pulling our finger out to the side. So our arms stay relatively flat. And I know when we're watching Jackie, I think because of the camera angle, it really looks like her arm is kind of going up. And it probably is a tiny bit, because as we get more advanced, correct me if I'm wrong, Jackie, that's kind of what we do. But I think the camera angle makes it look like she's going up a little bit more than she is.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah. So it's really just meant to be, and especially while we practice, especially as we're more beginners, we want to keep it nice and controlled and just go straight. We just want to elongate it out to the side.
And I just want to add with that too, when you do the allongé, if you're part of what makes it look big, I mean, I probably do make it big, but part of what makes it look bigger than the actual arm movement is if you're adding in the épaulement, it adds more movement than, so the arms only have this much movement, right? But then when you add in the épaulement, it adds like an extra like inch of movement too. So it looks a lot bigger than, it's like these tiny micro movements in your forearm to to middle finger and in your shoulder blades. It's these tiny movements that look really big.
Yeah, so we can go ahead and do the left side now. Just seemed like a nice time to kind of give some reminders on arm placement because we haven't talked about it in a while, and it can be something that is kind of easy to forget, especially as we have the allongé and the épaulement and the head and like all the things that we've added since we practice just as like robots, you know, in these positions. But we never want to forget, we never kind of want to forget those positions because that's what we add to add these extra things, but they always come from this initial place. I don't know if that makes any sense, but we can go ahead. I'm going to mute myself again.
That was a great reminder. Thank you, Kristen, because it is so important to have that space before you start adding on. So with what Kristen said, if you aren't feeling completely comfortable, feel free to take out the allongés or only do a couple of them. Feel free to take out the épaulement. I know some days, if even like my hips aren't feeling so great, I might just put my hands on my hips and only focus on my legs. So always feel free to customize the class to your needs. And if you have questions about how to customize it to your needs, you can always ask us. You can always leave comments on YouTube and we'll check them and try to provide further customizations next week. Okay, enough talking. We'll do the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, allongé, 5, 6, 7, 8, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu second, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu fourth, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu fifth, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu first, allongé, and cross.
Nice. Should we do a quick tendu combination?
Yes. So I think last week we did them from first. We had been doing them from fifth, but just in order to kind of focus more on the épaulement, we did them from first. So I think we'll kind of do that again so that we can move on to port de bras. So we'll do it from first, and we're going to do tendu, slow tendu, 1, 2, 3, 4. In 5, 6, 7, 8, we'll do fast tendu, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll do 2 fast battement tendu jetés or dégagés as I call them, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is just a continuation of your tendu, but going off the floor 45 degrees. We'll do that en croix in a cross position, front side, back side. So again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 in 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do that to the back, the side, and then we'll do the other side. Reminder, if you're adding in the head and the épaulement, you're looking kind of out over your shoulder to the front, to the side, you're pretty much straight. And then to the back, you're peeking like there's a mirror in the palm of your hand. You're peeking, not this exaggerated, you're peeking under like that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, allongé, 5, 6, 7, 8. Slow, 1, 2, 3, 4, in 5, 6, 7, 8. Fast, 1, 2, 3, 4. Dégagé, 5, 6. To the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, fast, 1, 2, 3, 4, dégagé, 5, 6, to the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, fast, 1, 2, 3, 4, dégagé, 5, 6, to the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, in 5, 6, 7, 8, fast, 2, 3, 4, dégagé, 5, 6, 7, 8, allongé, and close. Any questions before we move on? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, allongé, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, fast, 1, 2, 3, 4, dégagé, 5, 6, 7, side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, dégagé, 5, 6, to the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, fast, 2, 3, 4, dégagé, 5, 6, 7, side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, fast, 1, 2, 3, 4, dégagé, 5, 6, 7, 8, allongé, and breathe.
Nice. That felt really good today. I know I say that sometimes. I feel like I just have days where it just feels really productive. Like not necessarily that I did it perfectly, but just that it felt nice. Okay, cool. We have a little less than 10 minutes. Shall we review the first Vaganova port de bras and then do the third like we did last week? And so I realized, so last week I got so excited to go to the third Vaganova port de bras, partly because it had been a while since we had done it, but also because it has that back bend, which seemed to go along with the épalement. But I'm wondering if we actually want to do it without the allongé, which is kind of weird to do the épalement without the allongé. That way we can just focus on the form of it. I realized that last week I was like, wow, that was a lot to do like the third Vaganova port de bras the first time ever, like with allongé and épalement. So how'd that sound to do it without those, just to kind of focus on the port de bras?
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Sounds good. So do you want to talk about it and do it, Jackie, or would you like me to?
If you don't mind, just because I call my arm positions different than you do, and I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I want to know yours sometime though too. Do you mean like down is first and?
This is on bas for me.
Oh, okay.
This is first. This is second. This is fifth.
Uh-huh.
So, and I think like this is third and fourth or something, but.
Yep. Yeah, so. Okay, sorry, I got lots of people talking in here. So I'm gonna be on the camera here, guys.
Okay.
For a bit, and Hazel has to go pee, she said. Okay. We have a friend over who's an electrician helping us with some electrical work, so it's kind of crazy over here today. Okay. So first Vaganova port de bras, let's do it in first position. Oh, and what's it called when you just face the audience, Jackie?
En face.
En face. We'll go over those sometime, but let's do it in first position en face without the allongé or épaulement. So we start in preparatory, and we can do an allongé here for our preparation, because our standard preparation, we go allongé, back down to preparatory, bring it up to first, out to second. So now this is where, that's just our prep. This is where the first vagon of a port de bras starts. We're going to bring it down to preparatory. We're going to bring it up to first. We're going to bring it up to third, back down to second. And then we're going to take, we would do an allongé here. So we'll do, this is just the ending. So let's take the allongé out of like the actual port de bras. But since we've been working on it, we can do it for the beginning and the end, kind of. Okay, so one more time. Preparation, allongé, preparatory, first, second. So here we're really focusing on keeping the elbows up and the arms in this same position and just moving from the shoulders. Down to preparatory, up to first, up to third, out to second, allongé, and down. So the counts for that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, allongé, and down. So 4 counts for kind of like each part. So that's the first vagon of a port de bras. The third vagon of a port de bras is very similar, but we bend forward and we bend back. So let's take, my daughter's going to start eating right here next to me. So let's take our allongé, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this time, as our arms come down, so keeping our elbows up in that nice rounded shape, as our arms come down, we're going to bend at the waist until our back is, I don't know, like about halfway. We want our back to be as flat as possible, and our head and neck to be in line as much as possible as well with our back. And then our arms are kind of like parallel with our legs. Can you guys still hear me okay, even with Hazel chatting here? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So parallel with our legs. And then as we rise, they come up. We rise still just hinging at the hips. So there's not like a roll in the back. We just come straight up. Arms go to first. They come up to third. Take a little pause. And then from here, they're going to stay in third, and we're going to bend backwards only from the very top of the back. So our arms stay exactly as they are. Our arms do nothing. Only our back moves. And then that takes our arms backwards a little bit, which I have not been staying like well trained in ballet, so I don't have a lot of extension. What we want to avoid is crunching in the lower back. It's only the upper back that moves. Jackie described it last week as like taking your rib cage like off of your body and then bending it backwards on its own. So just that rib cage moves back. So third up here, arms are up. We do our little bend back. And then as we come up, our arms come back to second. Whew, should we do it again? Let's do it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we come down into that bended position. We come up into, I'm all confused. First, arms come up into third. We bend back only from the upper back. As we come back up, the arms come around. And then we can do an allongé to close. Another thing as we tip back, we can look at our hands. Once we have the allongé, we'll be following our hands the entire time. So for now, just think to look up at your hands, and then you can look straight again. Cool, let's add some counts into that really quick, and then we'll do our reverence for tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. We land down, up 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring it up 1, 2, 3, 4. Back 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we take our allongé and down. I'm a little worried that I messed up those counts because I was doing it so slow. But let's do it one more time. I'll try counting while we do it, and I'll see how I did with the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, allongé, 5, close 6, up 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I bet it's up 7, 8. That's where I messed up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Allongé and close. Woo! How was that? Third Vaganova port de bras. And just a reminder, we haven't done it the last couple of weeks, but we've previously, I don't know what week, but we have on the YouTube series done the second Vaganova port de bras, which is this one. Just as a reminder, if anyone's like, wait a minute, we've done the first and the third, like which one here is the second now? It's that one that we've done. And they all have the same standard preparation and ending as we do with our floor exercises.
Hey. I just want to add one thing onto this third port de bras. If you want to like practice before next week, just some for the bend forward. I think a lot of, like myself included, if I'm not fully warmed up, I'm like, oh, my hamstrings, hello. So one thing that a lot of people do is that they like stick their butt out, and I mean, your butt's gonna stick out a little bit, but you don't want to do that. So kind of the trick to avoid that is to make sure all the weight is in the balls of your feet. And you might even notice when I go forward, I like do a little like half releve just to make sure that my weight is staying forward. And then just obviously really engaging your core and stuff. And then make sure that you're really engaged, keeping that flat back. So if that means you're only going to here, that's okay. You don't have to be completely parallel with the floor if that's not where your hamstrings are. So that's kind of my 2 tips if you're gonna practice at home.
Yeah, that's good. I really appreciated your when I figured out the timing. I was like, oh, good, Jackie agrees.
So when you're on the spot, it's always hard. You're like, this is not right, but I'm going to keep going with it.
Yep. And when we're doing it slower, I think, when we're like breaking it down and doing it slower than we're maybe used to doing or whatnot.
Yeah.
Right. Reverence.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone start on your left foot, put your right foot behind. We've been doing this for the past several weeks. Reverence can be a lot of different things. This is just the one we've been doing, but it's just thanking your classmates, thanking your instructors, thanking everyone for class. So we step across, and then we'll curtsy and step across, curtsy, and then we'll bow. So step across, bow, and across, bow. Yay! We clap for each other.
Yay! I'm so glad you joined us today, Rashi.
Yeah, me too. That was so cool. It was like, I don't know, I loved it. Nice job, guys.
For those of you watching on YouTube, we love it when people join us on Zoom. If you're available Wednesdays at 7 Central Time.
And
Yeah,
Rashi is
for
one of
sure.
the SAATH founders too, so we're so blessed.
I'm learning from you guys, so this is all great.
Yeah, good class. A lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Anybody else have any other questions though for today? Rash, do you have any questions or anybody else too?
So for the ballet, so like when you're bending down, you don't bend your knees at all, right? You just like knees are straight, back is straight, everything's just from the waist, from like the. Okay, cool.
Yeah, good question.
Great.
Yeah, knees don't bend at all.
Need to practice that.
Yeah. We
So
talk a lot
definitely-
about like, lifting
Do you
up.
have any recommendations for like that upper body, like that isolation, even for like apama, but more for that back bend in the third port de bras? Like, I mean, is there maybe some complementary things you can do to just learn how to, I don't know, it's just seems very hard to isolate just the top segment. So
What do you have to say, Jackie?
It's definitely tricky, and I think especially with any kind of back bend, you want to be really careful. For me, visualizations really help. So like the idea of like, as I said last week, like taking your top half of you up and twisting it like helps me. I know one of my ballet instructors said it was always really important because if like your partner's lifting you, they would lift you from here. So that's where the bend happens from. So those were good visualizations. One thing I think you could even do as far as the back bend is like if you just, I'm not really wearing the best shirt for this, but if you just like start from your head and then go back, but only until like you don't want to go any further. So just until like as soon as you start to feel it below your mid back, come up. So that might be a way. That's all I can think of.
that helps. Thank you.
I think practice too. Like when I was dancing a lot, you know, like we did these in ballet class, we did them in jazz, like we did I don't know, I did them multiple times a week. My ballet instructor always kind of had the kind of weird recommendation of working on this stuff like naked after a shower. Which sounds almost like uncomfortable to say and think about, but you can like really see like the alignment of your body. And when you're warm after a shower, so your body is really able to move.
I thought of another one too, and that's a really good point, Kristen, because it's weird, but you get comfortable with your body, is doing like cobras in yoga, right? So if you're just lifting from here, keeping the bottom of your rib cage down and making sure that might be a
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do know that for ballet, at least, there's certain positions that a few months ago I couldn't even stand in. Like, and I feel like my posture, like my lower half of my body, especially with like knees and feeling the right tension, I'm able to stand in a lot of positions that I wasn't able to stand in, which is really good.
For that,
Oh,
sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
For like the bending just the upper half, I don't know, I was trying to use this trick and this might be completely wrong. I've barely done ballet, but like focusing on pushing out your chest and like not your lower half of your upper body, or do you just want to focus on your back? Like if I go like this.
I think there's a lift of the chest.
I wouldn't say push, because you want to keep your rib cage knit together, but it's a definite lift.
Yeah. Okay.
And I find that if I am really thinking about lifting, my rib cage does stay together. Like when I bend too far, then my rib cage kind of comes
right.
apart. Yeah.
And with the side twist, like I noticed this last week, Anjali, when you were talking about in Nade, like when you're stepping back, like you can do this little, that's exactly what épaulement is, right? It's like that tiny little like nod to the corners.
It's a very subtle, very subtle movement.
That actually really helps because I didn't even make the connection, but I'm like, oh, you're right, it is.
Yeah, I just saw Anita smile. I saw the light bulb go off.
Like ding, ding, ding.
I think it's so fun that like the way we're teaching it, both styles have kind of taken out those like extra things that like, you know, when we look at ballet, what we see is like the allongé and the épaulement, these like beautiful things. But when we first teach it, we don't start with that. Like we start with something like easier and more basic, and like both styles have done that. And I think that's fun. I think anyway.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, looks like we're 10 minutes over for today, but good discussion.
Thank you so much, y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Dancing with everybody today. Any announcements, I guess, for the week? I think, again, our class is just Wednesdays from 7 to 8 Central Time. So those watching on YouTube and on the call, definitely come and join us next week. If you're able to, please donate at saathmn.org/donate. Also on the website, still really, really cool merchandise out there right now. So definitely go check that out. Anybody else have anything they want to share with the group? Any other thoughts?
I guess one thing that came to my mind too is that SAATH has helped produce a web series that we're screening at a showcase. I think it's called Twin Cities Film Festival. So if you're kind of into, I don't know, kind of seeing what the community has to offer, and then also SAATH's production will be featured, should definitely go and check it out. So I think there's more information about that on SAATH's Instagram page with information on how to get tickets and things like that. So
Awesome.
Very cool. All right. Well, I think that concludes today. I will see everybody next week on Wednesday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
bye.
Thank you.